Cool glasses, bro.
Thank-
What's up with the glasses, Carlos?
Yeah, so these glasses are the trademark representation of NounsDAO. They're called Noggles.
Okay, noggles.
Yeah.
Noggles, nice, nice. So if you get up in the DAO, do you get some noggles? Is that
You can, yeah. You can also just attend any of the events that we sponsor
Alright.
or the meetups that we host around the world, and you're sure to find Noggles. There's variations of them. There's also a pair of Noggles that are made from recycled plastic that's collected at beach cleanups. And those are called Precious Noggles. They're part of the Precious Plastics program. Yep.
Yeah, give a look in there. Check them out, guys. That's some good stuff. That's styling. That's styling. We got stylish folks coming up in here. It's beautiful, man. Carlos, it's good to have you here. How are things going? What's your first impressions here on the event generally? Yeah, what's the vibe been like? How you been?
I'm thrilled to be here. I was really bummed to miss last year's event in Amsterdam. I've had, feels like FOMO for a year. And I knew coming here that I was going to be the dumbest person in the room. You know, this is a convergence point for people for builders that are building across a lot of frontier tech and a lot of industry leaders across the various industries. So it's been amazing just speaking with people and getting to know what they're working on. I've had a blast.
Perfect. Yeah, this has been a pretty crazy event here for sure. What's we're really interested in how do we relate the network state concept to folks. What's kind of your impression? What's your general feeling about the network state movement and how it ties into society? It's a huge, broad question, but like, if you're talking to folks and you're like, yeah, network state, like, what's it mean? What are we doing here?
So for me personally, this it's deeply personal because it's an opportunity to solve a lot of the issues that existing governments are unwilling or unable to try to remedy. I grew up as an illegal immigrant in Los Angeles. I'm from a very impoverished country, which is Honduras, and we have some network state representation there. I'm fully in support for anyone that tries to do anything more innovative or creative than our existing government structures. So, getting people together that are working on frontier technology is a great way to advance society and provide solutions at a much faster pace. Biotech is a great example of that, where you can have health solutions go to market in a few months instead of decades, right?
Right.
Because of FDA red tape and all kinds of restrictive regulations.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of hurdles to work through to innovate, to create solutions for society and whatnot. What's kind of your personal engagement? Like, what are you working on right now? What are you involved in? What are the problems that are really presenting themselves that you're excited about working on and fixing right now and coming up with solutions for?
So my main focus is NounsDAO. I'm a contributor at NounsDAO. I have 2 nouns myself. They're both orcas, so I'm building a little bit of a pod. And my attraction to NounsDAO is that it's a very decentralized DAO. So for those that might be watching that don't know what a DAO is, I like to summarize it as a group chat with a shared wallet.
Oh, that's right. A good one.
Right? So if you're in the group chat, you can have a say in how the funds are distributed. And this is something that is very important for me as well, because I grew up outside of the financial system, right? I still don't have access to a lot of financial instruments that a lot of people in developed countries have. So a DAO is a powerful environment to contribute to and participate in, because you can tap into funding opportunities to continue building whatever you're working on. And that's kind of my mission right now, is finding cool, interesting, impactful projects and builders that are seeking a little bit of funding to take that next step in their journey. And I'm hoping to come across various of those projects here and help them get involved with NounsDAO and potentially get funded so that we can stretch our impact through their work.
Nice. There's no shortage of interesting projects around here, that's for sure.
Yeah, my Telegram is loaded with contacts and notes, and I'm looking forward to following up with everyone and trying to get them involved in the DAO.
Yeah, funding is a tough challenge, obviously. You know, even the best projects, the best opportunities are challenging if they don't have any dollars to move forward. We've been talking with folks about how do you support yourself while you're still working, right? And you can only go so far when you're distracted surviving to keep working forward. So what's the mechanism? How do you help in the funding side? How do you get the solution to actually funnel dollars to a project? What does that look like?
Yeah, so NounsDAO auctions an NFT daily. We've been doing this since 2021, since August 2021. The first one went out for something like 600 ETH, so it helped load that treasury, and ever since then we've been auctioning an NFT. If you purchase an NFT, you know going into it that it's not an investment.
Right.
You're not going to liquidate this asset at a higher price because you're putting it into the treasury to be deployed for projects, right? So we raise this capital, we have a treasury. Whoever holds an NFT, a NounsDAO NFT, can vote on proposals. Anyone is welcome to submit a proposal. You don't need to have an NFT, you just need to be values aligned, right? So you need to be doing something interesting, meaningful, impactful, cool. It doesn't necessarily have to be within crypto. It could be outside of crypto. There's a lot of examples in our funded proposals, like rebuilding a school in rural Uganda, for example, right? It has nothing to do with crypto. Someone submitted that proposal. The community loved it. They voted in favor of it. The funds are automatically distributed, and we then keep track of the project. They submit prop dates, we call them, to inform the DAO on the development of the project. And then we support with any other way we can, whether it's technical support, whether it's visibility, connecting to other people that might have domain expertise to help solve a blocker that they have. And that's how we fund projects around the world.
How do we get, I like to play around saying I'm a champion in the normies, so I'm telling you that. How do we engage people and remove the barrier to entry of wallets, UX? I ain't no dummy. I'll still spend an hour trying to figure out how to transfer stuff sometimes through a wallet.
Yeah.
It's a tough challenge that I know people are working on. How do we spread that adoption? How do we make it accessible so that people can get in there and we really can scale up the engagement?
So the strategy that I like to employ is impact onboarding. So the first step for me is identifying a project that's working on something impactful, an organization, a group of people. It could just be a community. It could be a group of friends that are doing something impactful. And I offer them a little bit of funding with the caveat that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is peanuts compared to what you can tap into if you do get more involved, right? So the end goal is really to create adoption, but do it in a way that's frictionless. Thankfully, the technology has improved by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, so we have a lot better user flow for anyone that's a normie. And specifically though, in the emerging economies where there's serious needs for capital, it's not difficult for them. It's difficult for us in the Western countries where if anything lags for a couple of seconds, we're frustrated. For people in emerging economies, it's not frustrating for them. They pick it up right away because it's a necessity, right? I think a great example of that is the African continent leapfrogging a lot of other regions with digital payments, right? Yeah. And I'm sure it wasn't easy to do it at first, but they got the hang of it, and then because of the need for these solutions, it spread like wildfire in the continent.
The need definitely helps lubricate the path towards learning and figuring out what you got to do to get it done.
But I will say it does still require a lot of hand-holding, right? So you do need to be providing constant support, and you need to train and retrain, and the technology changes from one day to another. So it's possible that whatever you taught someone is obsolete in the week, right?
So you have a pretty good mechanism within the DAO to kind of be able to walk people through that process and get them engaged.
We don't have strict mechanism within the DAO. It's more contributors that are working in different areas or have different interests. So some people might be more attracted to onboarding DeSci, right?
Okay.
Which is a little more, I think, technically savvy.
Yeah.
Then there's other people that are more interested in onboarding communities in rural areas and emerging economies, which is you know, they don't have the exposure to this technology, so you do need to spend a little more time with them and get them. But once they get the hang of it, you know, they pretty much just run with it.
Yeah. I was in Panama when Facebook came out, and it was a matter of months before there were indigenous folks up in the mountains on Blackberries posting on Facebook. So people will catch on if they're motivated, right?
Well, social media is a great example, right? It allowed ease of communication around the world. So if you have family members that are in North America and you're in Latin America, and social media facilitates that communication with ease, then it makes it very appealing to adopt.
Yeah. So you're working on solving an amazing issue and challenge that really will drive things forward with funding and you know, community organization in that sense. There's a lot of people with projects here. What message do you have to people that are out in this space, in the network state space, the regen space, people who are motivated to come out here and build something? What message would you have for those folks out there that have some kind of idea or passion and want to make that happen?
Well, specifically related to NounsDAO, I'd say just join the community, get involved. The best thing you can do is get familiarized with previous proposals that have been funded. You're inevitably going to find something that resonates with you or is somewhat relevant to what you're working on. Look at the process of Look at that proposal. Look at how it's structured. Look at how it's presented, and try to copy pasta that into your proposal. And but I think the most important thing is to get involved, develop a reputation within any ecosystem that you want to be funded by, and then once you are funded, give back by providing feedback, right? So, or contributing in any way, adding value in any way. Don't be a tourist, so build for the long term. So play infinite games with infinite people, right? I think that's one of the best pieces of advice that I can give to any project that wants to tap into these, I would say, regenerative funding sources. Unlike, for example, VCs, which sometimes tend to be a little predatory. Like the VC business model is invest early and cash out as soon as you can because you've made lots of profit. And that's not suitable for every project for long-term sustainability. So if you can tap into if you can tap into funding through DAOs or other organizations that aren't living off that predatory model, then I'd say, yeah, just get involved and try to add value. When you gain something from that DAO, pay it forward for whoever's in line after you, right? Because they probably have some of the doubts and some of the concerns that you had coming into it, you know, without being familiar.
Yeah, and then we keep growing together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome, Carlos. Appreciate what you're doing out there. Give them one more little shot of that. The NounsDAO glasses. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.